Hey everybody, I preached a sermon on pain. Yay! Now, you don't need me to explain a whole lot about pain because you know what it feels like, you know what it is, and if you miss the sermon, the deal is the same. You just go on YouTube and you'll be able to find it, no problems. But I had a concern as I preached it. I want to bring it up again that anytime I preach about pain or talk about pain, I don't want you to ever hear or grab a hold of this idea that anyone would try to say your pain's not legit, not real. It is. Whatever pain you've experienced. Frankly, whether it was your fault or someone else's fault or no one knows who is at fault, your pain's real. I ran into this as a parent wrestling with other people's pain. I'll explain this. Titus was playing baseball. He was having a game. This was about a couple years ago. He's playing catch with some buddies, and they started, throwing the ball to each other as hard as they possibly could. Well, at one point, the kid Titus is throwing to, the ball hits that kid in the face. So the kid, next time he gets to throw it, he throws it at Titus, throws it hard, and it hits Titus in the face. And Titus has that look where it hits him in basically the eye, and he starts to cry. He comes over to me, and we're talking. So I'm, as a dad, having this quandary. Because a part of me I want my son to grow up not crying about every time he gets hurt. Okay? Sorry. I don't want him to, like what some of us would say, like, hey, that didn't hurt that bad. And so I began to tell him, hey, dude, it's not a big deal, not a big deal, not a big deal. Well, his eye and his pain and all that's going on is telling me it's a big deal to him. So then I had this thought, like, well, yeah, dude, just shake it off a little bit. And then a dumb idea came to my mind. I told him what we used to say as kids, like, just rub some dirt in it and let's just go on. Well, before I realized what I had actually just said, Titus reached down, grabbed some dirt, and threw it in his face. So now that the eye that had been hit with a baseball now has dirt in it. And now, when you want to talk about pain, it's escalated, and I was a part of the problem because I was trying to help my son and wasn't. I was telling him that, it shouldn't hurt. Move on. Deal with it. And as a dad, I've learned that that's not the best approach with pain. Parents, if you're married, dating somebody, and that other person has pain, the answer is, hey, that shouldn't hurt. Or that doesn't hurt you. Now, with that said, let's go a little bit deeper into this. We get caught up when it comes to the pain you and I experience, trying to explain not just, do I have the pain, but why is God allowing it? What I'd love for you to actually walk this out is, what if we moved further? What if you and I actually move further and begin to say, not only, why God are you allowing this, but God, how are you going to use this? I think that's worth thinking about. What if we move further and said, God, would you use this pain? 2 Peter 3:9, the Lord isn't really being slow about his promise, as some people think. Slow. Isn't that what pain makes us feel like? Everyone is slowed down on helping. No, he's being patient for your sake. He does not want anyone to be destroyed. He does not want anyone to be destroyed. He does not want you to be destroyed, but wants everyone to repent. I believe the pains that you and I care about sometimes aren't as big of a deal as we make them, but they still hurt. And I talked a little bit about Job in the sermon series, or in the sermon, and brought up Job's basically worst experiences ever, right? There's an observation about Job I want to bring up regarding your pain, because as you begin to process not just, God, why are you allowing it, but God, what are you going to do with it? That's the more mature response. Just an observation. Job never knew on earth, I should say on earth, I think he does now. Job never knew that billions of people would find hope via his suffering. I don't think Job knew. I really don't. That while he was going through all of his, as I call it, suck, I don't think he knew that people like you and I would read his story and find some sort of hope, some sort of energy to keep going on, some sort of peace that maybe if Job went through it, maybe it's okay that I go through it. I say this to bring up what's called the theology of grace. And the theology of grace is simple in that everything is a gift, okay? Anything good in your life is a gift. But sometimes we don't treat that. Sometimes some of the bad stuff that we walk through that we don't like, sometimes pain and suffering is a gift. What if you were to begin to look at the pain in your life and not just try to explain it, but begin to ask God, would you use this? I think you can do the same thing at the same time. I think you can say, God, I don't know why you're allowing this. I don't know why I'm going through this. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It hurts. I think you can still talk to your therapist and your friends and the people around you and continue to process your pain. But I think at the very same time, you can have a add in to these conversations and say, God, I want you to use this pain. Even though I disagree with it, even though I don't like it, I want you to use it. Romans 8:18 and on. Let me finish with this. Yet what we suffer now is nothing compared to. I think that's a wording that helps us know that maybe God can use our pain now. Yet what we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory he will reveal to us later. If you're going through suck right now, let me urge you, in the midst of asking God why, in the midst of discovering who God is in the midst of your pain, add to the equation, God, how would you like to use the pain I have experienced for your glory, to give hope to other people? God, would you please use my pain? I hope that helps.